you are new to RVing and you want to understand what the absolute basic necessities are, stick around, I'll show you. For most items, there's a link in the description below. Go check it out and let's start with number one. Number one is the absolute must-have. You cannot do without it, and that are four-wheel chocks. I'm in the trailer now. I'm not going to take them out because otherwise the trailer will roll down the driveway, and perhaps entertaining for you, not so entertaining for me, but here's a picture of what they look like. Number two that you absolutely need is one of them. It's just a very basic level. In order for your trailer fridge to work the most efficiently, your trailer has to be level. You can buy the really fancy one, the Level Mate Pro, that hook up to your phone, but honestly, this works as well. Number three, they are tow mirrors. In this case, they're custom fitted for my truck here. You can buy them in Universal. You can buy them specifically for your truck. You absolutely need them. Even though some trailers may not be as wide as in our model here, it's only 7 foot wide. Even with a half-ton truck, it makes such a difference. So do yourself a favor, do everybody else on the road a favor, and just buy tow mirrors. The next item you absolutely need if you want a hydro sight is one of them. So this is a 30 amp cord, as you can see here. Make sure you get the right cord for your trailer. Some trailers are 30 amp, some of them are 50 amp. Typically the 50 amp trailers are larger trailers with multiple AC units. I often see many people with just a regular 15 amp household cord. Keep in mind you cannot run your AC. There's a lot of current going through that cord, so it's just not safe. So get the right cord. Here in Ontario, specifically at provincial parks, often you may need up to 100 feet. They're not cheap. Spend the money. You only have to spend it once. So this one is a highly debated item whether you need it or not, but you absolutely need it. It's a surge protector. So what a surge protector does, it prevents you from high surges of power that can absolutely fry your electronics. This is just a regular surge protector. There are the EMS versions as well. It protects you from any surges, whether it's high, low. It really protects your fridge, your microwave, your AC much better. However, it comes at a cost. These typically go for about $150 Canadian. If you go to an EMS, they typically start at $300 and more. The other thing is they are very popular items. They are very easy to steal. So as a result, you can see that there's a loop here. Get yourself a lock. Unfortunately, you do have to lock your stuff up. This is one of the items that you absolutely want to lock up. So the next item you need is something to level your trailer, such as leveling blocks. Now I like leveling blocks instead of 2x6s, as a lot of people do. It's because it's just a lot easier to carry around. It's not as heavy as 2x6s. I like using the blocks. You can sometimes get them pretty cheap if they're on sale. I think I spent like 14 bucks for 10 blocks. Now that we got all the basics out of the way to park your trailer, to level it, one of the other items you need is one of them. This is just a 15 to 30 amp converter block, and essentially what this allows you to do is to plug in your trailer to a regular household outlet. Now the reason why this is so important is when you're between trips and you want to run your fridge in advance, or you just want to have it sit on your driveway. If you don't plug it in, your system or your battery will drain. There's always a little bit of a parasitic drain. So if you don't have this, get one so you can plug in your 30 amp connection to your house directly. For the following item, we actually have to go outside. So when towing, I would certainly suggest getting a weight distribution system. This one is the Husky. Not only does it distribute the weight, do not put the front wheels up in the air of your tow vehicle. It stabilizes as well, so your towing experience is much nicer in high winds on the highway with big trucks around you. The other absolute must-bring items are just simply some tools, such as a screwdriver, a drill. The reason why you need this, even if your trailer is brand new, stuff will break. You're hauling a big heavy trailer down the road. It shakes like crazy. Don't be surprised if you find some screws on the ground. So just some basic simple tools will save you a lot of headaches to have an enjoyable camping trip. The next item is somewhat related to the tool, but it's a very important item to have. It's this item right here. So essentially what this does is it allows you to put this in your cordless drill for your stabilizer. So if you're lazy like me and you don't want to use the hand crank, put this one on your drill and there you go. Next item you will need is a good quality white water hose. Now you may question why white. A white hose is meant for drinking water. Even though many of us drank out of the garden hose when we were younger and we're still here, this is specifically made without BPA. It's a lot safer to fill up your trailer. Now we typically only go camping at provincial parks here, which means we have no hookup. If you do have a full hookup and you have water, make sure you get a water filter and get a pressure regulator. Most trailer plumbing is done by PEX piping. If you put too much pressure on them, they will just explode. So if you are looking at the full hookup, get a pressure regulator and get a filter. So next item you need, specifically if you don't have a full hookup and you're not just a weekend warrior, so you go for extended trips, get yourself one of those blue water containers. I believe this is like a 6 or 7 gallon, I don't know, it's 22 liters. I will tell here exactly what that means in gallons. So get yourself one of them. Nothing is more annoying than you run out of water and you now have to hook up the trailer and go to the closest stop to fill up. So get a funnel. It is a pain to do, but it's better than moving your whole trailer. The other thing we absolutely must have in the trailer is your, what I like to call your stinky slinky. What the stinky slinky is essentially your black and gray water drain hose. So this is what you use to get rid of your gray water, so your dishwater, shower, and your black tank. Not in that order, always do it the other way around. Always do your black first and then use the gray to wash it out. But you need this hose, you need this stinky slinky to do so. This is a brand new one, otherwise I would never be holding it up this close to my face. Now when it comes to the stinky slinky, make sure you either get some disposable gloves or just gloves in general. The amount of time I see people at the dump station just touching all of this with their bare hands, with all the bacteria, don't be like that.
Stop it. Get some help.
Just get a pair of gloves or get some disposable gloves. Another item you must absolutely have is toilet treatment. You have to put this in your black tank. You have to add at least a gallon of water before you use it. What this will do, it will get rid of the smell, it will break it down. Without this, you will create a poop mountain, which it's not going to be pretty. Trying to break up a poop mountain is nearly impossible. Do yourself a favor, get some toilet treatment. You can buy them in the tablets like this. You can buy them in liquid. Make sure you add enough water before you use it. So the other item that you absolutely need is trailer trash. So of course you need a garbage bin for your garbage within the trailer. Just a little bin. Often trailers have a good spot for it. While camping you get dirty. You're outside a lot. You need some basic cleaning tools like a dustpan. However, what we like is a portable vacuum that we can just charge. Often there's dirt and crevices that you just cannot get, so get one of them. They're very handy, they're very cheap actually, and they do the job very well. The other item you'll absolutely need are some comfortable camping chairs. When you're camping, you're going to be outside a lot. Don't just get the cheapest chair you can find. Try out some good chairs. We like the Costco, the director's chairs a lot. There are many different options. I'm not going to drag them out of storage now because having a chair in this small room is just going to be very awkward. But do yourself a favor, invest in some good chairs. The other must-have, in my opinion, is getting a camping mat. When you're camping, specifically when you're in the grass, when you're in the dirt, if you don't have a camping mat, your trailer will be a lot dirtier. So again, there's many options here. We bought one from Costco, pictured here, but you can find any camping mat. When it comes to cooking, you're probably not going to cook a lot within the trailer, specifically if you have a small trailer like us. So get yourself a good barbecue, a little camping stove, or a griddle. We really prefer the Blackstone. It's amazing. I couldn't do without it anymore, but there's many good options there. I'm not going to drag it out because again, small room here. The next item, specifically if you're boondocking a lot or you're going on longer extended trips without the full hookups, let's go back outside again. So I would certainly suggest getting one of them. We call it the honey wagon. What do you call it? It's essentially if you go for longer trips and you need to get rid of either your black or gray water, you don't just have to hook up your trailer and go to the dump station. They're about $200, but they're well worth it. Now here are just the basics. I mean, there's lots more that you can use. Typically what I'd suggest for your first trip, don't go too far from home or go somewhere close to a store. That way, when you need something, you can either go home, could go to the store. Many people prefer ice makers, hammocks. There's lots of other things that people think they must have. So if you have any further thoughts to any of the items in this video, definitely leave it in the comments below. If you find that you got a lot of value out of this, please like. It really helps the YouTube algorithm to share this video to people that may want to learn the same. Subscribe as well for more videos. We are doing a lot of camping trips this year, as well as some DIY videos. We're going to put some additional solar panels on the roof. We now have the basics, but make sure you can tow it. So why don't you check out this video here to make sure that what you can actually tow